right now. This is the book that I'm on.
Artist Way. Oh, the Artist Way.
The Artist Way, yeah.
Yep, I've heard lots about that.
I got the morning pages and I have the journal.
Test.
Yeah.
I've always been like, but with the Artist Way, it's like there's no audio version. So.
Isn't there?
I couldn't find one when I looked on Audible, although that was maybe a couple of years ago at this point. So
I feel
could try
like
again,
there
maybe.
might be one.
I read The War of Art. Have you read that one?
Yes.
Very good.
The Art of War.
Well, The Art of War is I haven't listened to that one. Maybe got halfway through The Art of War.
Sun Tzu.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm trying to get away from this mindset, you know?
Yeah, I'm definitely not, when I was younger, so I think I read those things when I was like in high school, honestly. And I think maybe coming from my mindset, I always knew that war for me was not what I wanted to do. And I had a mindset and a plan for like, I understood that we're always in some sort of battle, but I look at it more of a self-extension period when there's chaos going on the outside to see how do you react and whatnot. So like,
yeah, if you could bring that down maybe just a wee bit.
Yeah, like a tad, like
yeah,
right there.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
want
so
to
you can
cover
see
up
my
the face.
face.
Yeah, you want to see your face.
Want to see the jaws.
All right, just so everyone knows, Tiffany Burke.
That is
Björk.
correct. Burke.
If you're Swedish.
Björk.
Björk. Austin comedian. You do a lot more though, right? Is what
Austin?
I got. Sorry, Atlanta. Sorry.
Yes. I'm like,
My bad,
Austin,
my bad.
what?
Sorry, didn't mean to disrespect
It
right
used
off
to
the
be
bat.
cool.
Well, I mean, that's what a lot of people are saying.
It used to be cool.
Yeah. Or Dallas is a good place now because you're a traveling comedian. You're doing it all the time.
Yeah, I am.
Year round. Have you been to Dallas?
I have been to Dallas.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying
Love the
Dallas
scene
is
there.
like kind of more the indie or more like, less the establishment now, like the Rogan sphere kind of stuff.
I haven't been as much this year. I think Dallas has its, Dallas is edgy. Dallas is fun. There's a lot of great comedians out of Dallas.
How does it stack up to Denver then? You're just on a couple of shows, or
I like Denver because
Denver's coming hard with the jokes, huh?
Denver,
Dallas, I don't know. I've just never been, so I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know
because you wouldn't know. No, I was just joking.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. I mean, I would
know.
like to get out and do more. It's just none of us have set ourselves up like you. It seems like you got a whole thing going. It's pretty cool. Because you got a job, you got a job, but then you're also doing you're out there, you're traveling. Okay, business. My bad.
I'm sorry,
That's why I said you got it set up.
Yes. I treat this. I love comedy and I want to be successful in it. And so I treat it like something I want to be. And I'm not saying that any different from other people. Just, but I think also I've been doing it for a really long time. And a lot of people don't know that I've been doing it for a really long time.
So now you're getting out and showing, which is nice. Because you got to be out there. People don't know. Unfortunately, you got to
be out there and you got to be consistent and you have to be funny.
Right.
That also allows you to be able to
do more.
You have to write stuff that travels everywhere.
Right. Yeah, because I saw you last year at some rotating tap shows.
Yep.
And not to be a little stalker or anything, I saw you were going to be on another rotating tap show last night. And I was like, I'm going to go to that one.
Okay.
See if I can get a guest spot and be like, hey, remember last time we talked about you getting on the pod?
And I said I do it.
Right. Yeah.
Because my word is my bond.
Yeah. And
Here I am.
Yeah, there you go. And I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Because I feel like that's a big thing is also...
Sorry about the hair.
On no. It's okay.
She keeps just picking little hairs off the microphone.
I like animals. They're cool.
No, yeah.
But sometimes they leave their love.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you framing it like that.
Yeah, they live their love, and it's fun.
Right, yeah. But you're getting into a lot of nerd stuff. You're talking about not Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. A lot of nerd references.
I've been a nerd my whole life.
Respect.
An athlete. That was coined by myself and Clayton English. I appreciate. I'm gonna give Clayton a credit because he told me I need to keep that. That's a nerd and an athlete. I'm always an athlete.
Okay. What was your
sport? I grew up
sport?
So my first sport ever was baseball with my dad.
Okay.
Because my dad coached all boys baseball team, and I was the only girl.
Is it in
and
Atlanta?
I would hide. I'd hide my pigtails underneath my hat until I got hit that one time, and they found out I was a girl.
Okay. Yeah.
And that was the '80s. I was a trendsetter. Yeah, but I've always been like very much athletic, but also super sci-fi kind of person. My mom was a computer science major in the late 60s, early 70s. So like my household was one full of books, but a lot of just everything, all kinds of books. Books about Black history. My house was a CRT house.
CRT.
Critical race theory.
Gotcha.
Just joking. No, but like my parents made sure I had knowledge about everything. Sci-fi. We had Isaac Asimov books, Frank Hilbert books. My mom was big on Carl Sagan when I was a kid. I had all kinds of books, and my mom was Catholic, so it was this weird dichotomy because
I was looking up Carl Sagan because I've heard the name before a lot.
It was weird because, like, you know, she would have books on astrology and all these other things and science downstairs, but very much we went to church every Sunday. She was the head of the choir. I was one of the first. My sister and I were the first few altar girls, Black altar girls in our city, specifically in our church. Like we started the trend of female altar girl because, you know, as a Catholic.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do the
altar girls weren't. That's
not really a thing. Yeah,
that's not the thing. It's usually boy priests,
right.
boy altar boys.
Yeah. My older brother did it. I think my older sister's the only one who get like confirmed in the Catholic Church. By the time it got to me, they were pretty watered down, and we didn't go. We stopped going, basically.
Yeah, I was I was the equivalent of like the Baptist kid that went to church every Wednesday and Sunday, but I
fully
was Catholic,
confirmed Catholic,
like fully confirmed Catholic.
Whoa.
Yeah, fully confirmed Catholic. I was also a knight, the knight in Sisterhood of Peter Claver. Yep, that's right.
What's that?
You know, that's like when you do the when you're like in the society that does service work.
Okay, well, that's a whole nother level.
Like, it's like a whole nother level.
The upper echelon.
Well, this is where you're like going out and you're helping the community.
Okay, so it's not like the Vatican. The next step is like you're in the
for your church. You go out. You're a part of the community that like goes to the shut-in and the sick people of the church that can't get to church. You take them holy water. You take them the blessing. You take them the communion and everything. You're the extension of the church.
You're going out. You're the hand of God.
You're the hand of God.
Going out.
In theory, yeah.
You're knighted. That's cool.
Yeah, you're knighted. Yeah,
that's cool.
To go out and.
Yeah, I guess that's how it started, huh?
Yeah, I would assume. Like,
yeah. Anointed by God in a way, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just listened to this whole King Arthur book. It's by the guy who wrote The Magicians. It's called the Golden Sword or something.
Oh.
But I listened to it on audio. Very good. But they bring in a lot of the Catholic stuff with like the magical stuff of, you know, the Merlin stuff, and they really, you know, weave it in and out in a very good way. And then there's even like a battle between like the Christian or, you know, Catholic God and like angels versus like all these, you know, like pagan demons and stuff.
Exactly.
It's very good. I really enjoyed it. That's like as into the occult as I want to dabble in. Is like some King Arthur shit, you know.
He's like, I like my levels.
You know, I want to be just, you know, skimming the surface of the dark arts. Yeah. It's called The Bright Sword. Just
called The Bright Sword.
Yeah. Lev Grossman is the guy.
But I liked. I was always. I would say I'm right and left brained a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, just been super. I like
because you're also witchy.
Am I?
Well, you're talking about Reiki.
Like that word.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't like that word.
Witchy's a word that my wife throws. Okay, maybe. All right.
It's a colonizer.
Sure.
Word.
Yeah, my wife throws it around. You know, it's in the community. I hear it a lot here. So maybe.
Yeah,
what do you prefer?
Like that word. I'm a healer.
Okay.
I work with energy. I think there's a difference.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't embrace
Which
that terminology.
Equals colonizer, or which equals evil stuff.
It's a colonizer.
It's a British thing or a European term.
That's associated with someone who is maleficent, malignant, negative,
big nose,
and not even big nose. It has nothing to do with the physical attributes. It has everything to do with the connotation of how you're using your power.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't ascribe or transcribe to that. That's not how I work with energy. So I don't believe in that. I believe, I don't think that.
So what are you doing that? I mean, how are you doing
I'm a Reiki master,
okay,
so I'm an energy master. I work with energy, because there's
coming
energy
from the people's bodies,
that's coming from everything. God put energy in everything. And it's actually scientifically been proven. And they came out with research about biofields and that everything has energy that it's emitting off. And it's learning and understanding how, one, to work with the energy that's in your body, how to move your own energy, how to know when your energy isn't moving, what that feels like, how that actually manifests in your body and causes dis-ease. Like a lot of stuff that's going on in a lot of the body is because their energy isn't moving, because they've become stagnant. Their energy is stagnant, or the life and the things around them are chaotic and stagnant. Therefore, their energy is chaotic and stagnant.
Yeah.
But also, we interact with other people. We interact with plants. Plants have their own energy that they give off.
And you're just in our garden out in the back.
Man,
how was that?
beautiful.
Does it feel good?
It felt
good?
real
All right,
good.
good. All right. I
It
didn't
felt
know
real
there's like, no, there's something under the surface here. There's a body in the garden or something.
I mean, even if there was a body in the garden, it would have already
told you.
Well, not even just that. I mean, I don't know. It depended on if that soul stayed around in your garden.
Yeah, and we stepped into like a Stephen King novel or something, you know. That's a great movie. We could write that as a movie right here.
That would be
screenplay. All right. So using energy. I did a little bit of when I did martial arts as a kid, they did a whole Western or Eastern medicine thing. And a lot of stuff is qi, qigong stuff.
So I do.
Yeah, a blockage of qis when you get
blockage of qi. So blockage of qis and chakras are very similar. To me, it's almost the same thing.
Right.
Or I see it that way. But yeah, you have energy flows, your body flows. You literally have rivers of blood that are going through your body.
Your veins.
And then things get blocked, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
and then there's a problem. There's a blockage of chi. There's a
blockage of chi.
Yeah, there's something going on there.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
And think about it. Your heart is an electric muscle. I think people forget that. If you die and somebody brings you back, how do they bring you back? They electrocute you.
Right.
Because your heart runs off of electricity.
Right.
Your brain runs off of
yeah.
electricity.
Yeah.
So if you're running off of electricity, that means you give off energy.
Yeah.
That's why you're supposed to ground yourself every day. Like, that's why they ground the electricity into your house. If there was just wire,
gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? If there's just wild electricity running through your house would be on fire. They have to ground it. That's why they put copper and things like that to ground it. You're supposed to do the same thing. You are flowing energy. Your heart pumps, your brain runs.
Right.
So that also, there's energy that's coming off of you, and it's knowing how to, I don't know, use your energy for good.
Right.
Or some people use it for
their own means.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Well, cool. All right. I like that, but we're talking a little bit about, reading books at the beginning. Circle back out to that. I like
an athlete. I'm an athlete.
Yeah, you played baseball.
No, as a little kid, I didn't quit. I'm a soccer player. I played soccer a lot.
All right.
A lot of soccer.
Very European of you.
Latin,
or
maybe?
Latin, yeah.
That's very Latin of me.
Yeah. All right. You really want to associate less with Europe, more with.
I mean, my mom is Afro-Hispanic, so yes, I would say that.
Sure. Gotcha. We were talking about the war of art. We're getting down a place where you're saying when you were younger, maybe a little more combative. You thought maybe these skills or the lessons in that book might be more applicable to your life.
I was a debater in college.
All right, so you're looking for a battle, in a way.
Yeah, because you have to be mentally prepared
to
verbally accost someone with facts.
And unfortunately, that still doesn't work sometimes. People still deny
that's because
the
we don't believe in facts anymore.
Right.
I think besides chalanting, I think that we also need to make facts sexy again.
Okay. Any thoughts on how to do that?
I don't know. I'm working on it.
Yeah, facts not sexy. People want
we gotta bring it back.
Instagram models. They don't want.
Yeah, but somehow we need the Instagram models to spit facts.
That doesn't make money, I guess.
I don't know. We're gonna work on it.
There's more money in the lie. I think,
yeah,
which is unfortunate.
It's bad, actually.
Yeah. Yes, it's bad.
It's not really helping us, but
Yeah. Gets clicks.
It's making the cognitive dissonance amazing.
Big gap. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I was just thinking I related to the idea of the war of art being more important to to me when I was younger, because I was, more inclined to be more combative. I thought, the world was against me. I had to, armor myself with all these things and, or, have weapons, arrows in my quiver in a way, And then when I was like, I was trying to get away from that, stuff. Because as I learned as I got older, not everybody was against me,
Exactly.
Especially,
and not like as you get older, you realize not everything's about me.
Right. Yeah.
Not everything's about me. I want to think that it's about me, but it's not about me. Not everything's about me.
Yeah.
And understand that other people got shit. They got lives.
Yeah, they're just trying to live their lives too, and sometimes there's some overlap. Sometimes you might get in some crossfire, kind of a thing. But
yeah, I think just centering yourself, but not centering yourself in other people's worlds. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's something everybody goes through is, realizing you're not the center of the universe.
Yeah, because you're the main character in your life.
Yeah.
But you're so supporting character in other people's lives.
Yeah. And, when you're growing up, everything's about you. Your parents are, everything's around you. So it is a sign of maturity, I guess, to get to a point where you're like, oh, just
and it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. Wrong. It's okay to support other people. Actually, it's good to support other people.
Glad you came to that.
It's helpful.
Right, yeah.
Do
you think you came to that before you had your kids?
No.
Okay.
I think it was something I came to earlier in life, maybe like in the middle of college, or maybe earlier than that. I take that back. I don't know. I wasn't always I've always been a helpful person.
Big family?
Like understanding.
No? Okay.
No, just me and my sister.
Older? Younger?
Older.
You're older?
No, she's
older. Okay.
She's 9 years older.
Okay. Yeah, it's a big gap.
Yeah, huge gap.
Yeah. Then I feel like you got more like of a cousin energy than a sister's energy.
She was more of a mother energy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because my mom was always working.
Gotcha. Yeah,
so my sister was very much my maternal.
Yeah, I was thinking bigger family because then you have to help out. Like you're all hands on deck kind of a thing. But if it's two of you, not to say you can't. You're just naturally more of a caretaker.
Yeah, I'm a Cancer. I'm a natural caretaker.
Cancer is a earth sign.
Water sign.
Water sign. Okay, sorry. I knew I had like a 1 in 4 chance of getting it.
Wet.
Gotcha. Okay, you like water.
Crap.
I do love be like water. That whole philosophy.
Yes,
I really.
I'm very much.
I love that.
I'm very much I'm very much water.
You can erode down a mountain, or you got to
water is one of the most
it.
Powerful elements.
Yeah.
It can eat away at something. It can fill things up. It can grow things. It's versatile.
Yeah.
When with the right things or the other right elements. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, one of the things that I really connected with your set about last time you were in town was that you're talking about House of the Dragon. You're talking about all the nerdy stuff. And then one of my first immediate questions was like, have you read Wheel of Time?
Yes.
Or do you watch Wheel of Time?
Yes.
And you're the only person I know that's gotten excited about it to talk about it. And it is a shame that it was recently canceled
I was so
by
mad.
Amazon. Yeah.
I was so mad. I feel like that. I said to one of my friends the other day, I was like, I don't feel like I did a good enough job of selling Wheel of Time. I should have made a whole bunch of Wheel of Time.
It's like, they're lady witches.
But no, as a Reiki master, that was the easiest one to make funny content about.
Okay.
Because they're manipulating energy all the time.
Yeah.
In the most badass way. That was the.
So you related to the one power, or what what they call their magic.
To the one power. Well, it's source. It's still source energy.
Okay.
And from God, the one power is supposed even the will of time, it still comes from something that's
right. Yeah. The true power, something they call the true power. Yeah, I've recently re-listening to the books, which is a whole undertaking within itself. If you do want to bring that mic a little bit closer down, a little bit closer to your face. Yeah, because you get comfortable.
Yeah.
Which is good. It's good.
I'm getting comfortable in the sofa. This sofa is so nice.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like it.
Yes, I love the setup.
One power. A lot like Reiki. You came from a religious background. Was there any friction when you were getting into what I would call witchy stuff, but more of your energy work, things like that? There was no
no.
Am I gonna go to hell for this?
No, because first of all, I was a Catholic who married a Muslim man.
Oh wow.
And my mom, used to send us to the JCC when we were kids because she said Jesus was a Jew and you needed to understand that religion too.
Jewish Civic Center, JCC?
It's the Jewish Community Community Center.
Gotcha.
You could go to JCC on the weekends and learn Hebrew and learn everything about Judaism. So
okay, so you're getting in there.
So I've known, like, I just feel like I'm one of those people that I've dabbled in. I feel like religion is of man and God is eternal, and God came to so many different people and has different messages, and you should probably be taking all of that information in and using your critical thinking. And like, as my grandma would say, take the meat, leave the, take the meat, leave the bones.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And understanding, and eliminating the fat, knowing what's fatty, what's not good for me, and what's the meat that I need to be consuming and taking in.
Okay.
So I don't think you can really make a decision about what God is if you're not looking from all of the representations.
Sure. Yeah. A lot of different facets of one thing, kind of a view on it.
And seeing where because I also think that when you do that, and I think that's a skill that I learned from being a debater, because we have to do research. And when you do research, you don't just use one source. You're using all of the sources. And from all of those sources, you're taking out the key information where, to me, what I used to do is where I saw a similar or a consistent thread of an idea that was consistent against all of the sources, then that let me know that that's probably one of the truest things, right? Because it's consistently said everywhere. And so to me, that's where I find my direction. And I would say that I'm more of a spiritual person and not a religious person, because I don't feel like at this point in my life that I'm owned to one religion. I'm owned only to God. And God gave so many different messages, but it's in your due diligence and finding out what is true, right?
Okay, yeah.
For you on your purpose and your path.
Your work
I can't
as
tell
a person
you, because even they, like, the message that we always got when we were kids, right, is that the only relationship you're supposed to really worry about is a relationship with you and God.
Sure. Yeah, that's number one.
Number one.
Yeah. And
I can't tell you what's right because I don't know that. That's
Sure. Yeah, there's something in between.
Yeah, there's something.
God,
and anytime, and that's why I think for me, Catholicism was so hard. Was it contradicted itself when we were in Catholic school, because they would say, you're only supposed to pray to God, and there should be no intermediaries, but then no intercession. You're not supposed to have any break. Okay. There should be no intercession, but then they placed an intermediary into which is the priest, and having to do confession.
Right.
Why do I have to come to you to confess?
Another person in between.
Like all of these levels, I'm not supposed to. It's just supposed to be.
Yeah, a straight line. Gotcha. Yeah. No, I like that. I believe it. I mean, that's something I think my grandparents instilled in me without really me understanding that. Because I remember my grandma talking to me about, like, oh, I just talked to God. She's constantly thanking the Lord for something that happened.
Every day.
Yeah,
every morning.
Thank God for this. Something bad happened. Something good happened.
Gratitude.
Yeah, gratitude's a big one.
For whatever experience it is, whether it's a bad one or whether it's a good one.
Yeah.
No matter, it's this gratitude of waking up and saying, thank you, God, for giving me the ability to have another day.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people that didn't get that.
Right. Yeah. And I do think it's a positive. Something positive I took from my relationship with my, grandparents and stuff is that I do like that I
think that's my grandma too.
Talk to God or thank God even when something goes good. Not just like, oh, I need help. Not going to someone when I need help kind of a thing, or feel bad. Which I think is a positive thing. I wouldn't say I'm super religious, but yeah, I do feel like I have some kind of relationship with the divine in some way, shape, or form.
And I think
I think it's positive.
That's to me, that's all. I think that's all that matters.
And that's good. And I feel good about that.
Yeah, and I'm glad you feel good about that.
Yeah. Anyway, so you think with the comedy, is it? Does the divine, any of that, the Reiki energy
100%.
Stuff help with the? I mean, like, is there something?
Because you're bringing joy, even if you're informing people about whatever it is that you're talking about. you're bringing joy to somebody. You're making them laugh. And laughter literally has healing properties.
Right.
Like,
no, yeah, I believe it. Yeah, best
gene.
medicine kind of a thing.
Right, best medicine. Yeah, like laughter causes different chemical releases that change your DNA for the day. You know what I mean? And that's phenomenal.
Getting cortisol in your blood or whatever, feeling good. Yeah. I don't know if that's the right chemical. Yeah, I was like, I'm not sure if that's the right chemical.
Cortisol is the stress energy.
Okay,
but you're getting like, you're getting serotonin. You're probably getting a little oxy.
I was like, I don't think that's the right. I'm not a scientist.
Yeah, you're getting a little serotonin. You're getting a little oxytocin.
I listened to this book and they're talking about brain waves and like, like meditating, getting into a certain, not vibe, but like, brainwave vibe kind of same, getting into this, vibe. I'm sorry, I just can't think of the better word.
State.
Yeah, but to get into this meditative state so that you can manifest better,
Yes.
But also laughter and humor, finding things funny gets you into that.
It gets you into
vibration.
That vibration.
Yeah, quicker.
It's an energetic level.
Yeah,
it does. It truly does. Like I found out when I'm sad or depressed or something bad happens, my first reaction is to transmute that energy with a joke.
Yeah, I mean
and it's so effective because I want to allow myself to address the situation as it is, right? But also to bring levity and humor to it, so that I'm not stuck in that.
It's like those bad vibes, kind of a thing.
And the murkiness that whatever that was came like.
I think it's such a knee-jerk reaction for me to make a joke. It's like, it's like you almost have to. I think that's what makes a comic, I think, is like you can't not do it.
I cannot not. Somebody said that they were like, you make a joke out of everything. I was like,
that's a good thing.
Look at
Yeah, maybe not always the most appropriate or whatever.
It's not the most appropriate, but everybody just laughed and they felt a little bit better.
Yeah. It's like my mom might not approve of every joke I do, but
Yeah, but it's
whatever.
We laughed.
Right.
And laughter's good.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I tried.
Like that, even that one joke last night with the Ethan and the Hitler molested.
Oh, yeah. Ethan Everhart, friend of the podcast, so I'm sure he is. Yeah, he has this this joke where he talks about going back in time, and everyone would say they kill baby Hitler, but his joke is that he would molest teenage Hitler. Which is, I mean...
For the arts!
Yeah, he said that it'd make him a better artist, so... Which is very, very funny.
And when you know the truth about Hitler and understand that the reason why Hitler was mad was because he was a horrible artist and the Jews wouldn't accept him as a good artist because he was Jewish.
Right, yeah. Very...
And
there's
he
a lot of
started
baggage
a
there.
whole... Y'all made him that mad.
Yeah, all I'm saying is, hey... Denver comedy scene, let me in, or who knows what I'll do.
Wow.
Who knows?
Wow.
Don't mean to threat, but
turn
also
into a fascist dictator.
Hey, comedy works. Let me in, or I don't know what I'm gonna do. Anything could happen. No, he said, "Yeah, I'm giving out some bad vibes here with the." Sorry,
he said.
No, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, book me, or I'm gonna
book me,
or I'm coming after your whole race.
Send Tiffany with the dark arts. I don't even know.
Yeah. I do a whole thing about how my wife's into some, I'd say witchy stuff, coven stuff. And I'm like, somebody told me that the football player who's like a quarterback, Tom Brady. And I was like, Tom Brady.
Giselle,
yeah. Somebody said Giselle is also into like witchy shit. And part of me's like, he won 8 Super Bowls or whatever. I'm like, my wife's not doing shit for me. What the fuck?
And as soon as she left him, how did that turn out?
Yeah, I mean, I love my wife. All right, we're good.
That's all.
But also, if you could help me out with some, some Super Bowls, that'd be great.
She's from Brazil. I don't play. I wouldn't. Yeah, she's a very. She's in tune.
They're always on the beach. They're rooted in that water and earth.
And she owns a farm of she grows endangered herbs. So she grows like because I'm trying
good shit.
Yeah, she grows like echinacea. I think she grows chamomile. But
Chamomile's
she harvests
endangered?
it. She's like, it's one of the plants that's like because it's over harvested. And then a lot of herbs are in danger because we've eliminated them with weed killers and stuff like that. So it's harder. So like now they want wildflower populations to grow back so that we could get more like your backyard more. You have a variety of bees. You have those little teeny tiny ones. You got bumblebees. You got
it's fun.
Carpenter bees. You got a lot of bees.
Yeah, my wife likes bees. She hates wasps.
Wasps are Satan's work. Yeah,
but they're brothers.
Yeah,
they're like the same thing.
Yeah, they're bees that have been demonated.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's funny.
Bees that are
So you're allergic to bees?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Hey, no worries. I keep it happy on me.
Where are you going? If you get stung, you going for leg?
Oh, always.
You going arm?
Always leg.
Always? You done it before? You've had to do it?
Damn. Yeah, I got good legs.
Okay, well, how many times have you had to EpiPen yourself in your life?
Maybe 3 or 4 now.
Has to be a very scary situation.
Yes.
Right?
Well, people have epied me. Yes.
But not yourself.
I've done myself twice.
Okay.
And then 2 times other people epied.
Dang.
Yeah.
That has to be scary.
Not all for bees. So that's,
right.
Yeah.
So you got other shit that's trying to kill you.
No, I only have one other thing that's trying to kill me, and I don't want to say it on TV because I'm scared somebody might try to serve it or put it in something that I eat.
All right. Well, nobody.
I mean, you never know.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. You never know who's after you.
Stalkers.
Okay. You got a lot.
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess that's a sign of your popularity, which is be kind of cool. As a comedian. It's a kind of a milestone in a way.
I guess it is, isn't it? Right.
Beyonce's definitely got some stalkers. Yeah, and I'm sure a couple of those bees.
They're definitely stalkers.
A couple of those bees stalking.
They're definitely drones. They're doing intel.
Some of those
know
bees,
everything.
Yeah, some of those people beehive. They're hornets, or they're wasps maybe.
Yeah,
wasps are the stalkers of the bee world.
That wasps are the stalkers.
And they don't die. And they sting you.
Yeah, they get to keep on going, don't they?
That is very
Do they
shitty.
grow back their
I don't think it gets pulled out when they sting you.
Oh, they keep their stinger.
I think so.
Oh, and they just yeah, I read that. They have a venom gland, and they can keep refilling the gland with venom and then pump it out. Unlike a bee, where the gland is in the stinger, and the gland come off when they sting you, and then they die because they lose their.
Yeah, wasps do not lose their stingers, unlike bees.
I remember reading that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have barbs. They got barbs around their little.
Did love the visual. Yeah. Yeah. So when you're doing, I mean, I like that you took, your love for the nerd culture stuff and you're putting it into the comedy. You made some Khaleesi references.
I love cartoons.
Rolling deep.
I'm a cartoon kid.
Okay. Avatar, Last Airbender, not the Cameron shit. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that was the last cartoon I think I really deeply got into.
With Aang and with Korra.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so good.
Yeah. And I have sons, so I use them for any excuse to watch a cartoon.
Okay.
Yeah. Not my oldest, but my youngest. Yeah, he's
right. What about DuckTales? Did you watch the reboot?
Yes, I don't like it.
No,
we talk about it all the time. I don't. It's something about the drawing that I don't like.
Oh, I love the artwork. Okay, yeah, that's like I love.
And my 12-year-old, he loves the artwork. I saw it. He was like, "What, Mom?" I was like, "I don't know. I'm biased."
It's not your aesthetic.
I'm biased. Yeah.
What's your favorite style then? Artwork.
I can't say I have one. I have so many.
Well, just the ones off the top of your head, then,
For drawing?
Yeah. Like, I mean, if the artwork from the DuckTales, sets you off.
not from the newer ones.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I liked the 90s version.
Okay, yeah. There's not as many 90-degree angles. I think this one kind of has
this is very sharp.
Has sharp.
Very sharp. Stuff. It has a bold. there's that bold black line, which I like, but it's not my favorite.
Sure.
But I still watch it. But
do you like the Aang type of drawing, like kind of
that
Aang
type of drawing,
anime infused?
I'm a Ghibli girl.
Okay,
yeah. I'm definitely a Ghibli girl.
Kiki's Delivery Service is probably the one I'm most familiar with.
House, Flying Castle. That's probably
A Boy and His Heron is the last one I saw, or Heron and the Boy, or whatever it's called.
Stuff like that. But like my sister, being 9 years older than me, she was into anime like in 92. So she had some really she had done I think a semester abroad or something and brought back all this anime from going overseas to Tokyo. And she had like she had some really bad stuff like Fist of the North Star, Akira. She had early Akira. So I like stuff like that.
Okay.
And I just in earlier this year, I went to New York and they had a special Akira pop-up experience. It was so dope. Let me see if I can find it because I went and I took photos. But like I like stuff like that. It's this stuff,
right? Akira?
Yeah. Like I love Akira. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean the most I got in this was like Dragon Ball Z when I was a kid.
Yeah, and I was I was a huge so Dragon Ball Z is why I'm a Reiki master. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you.
Okay, interesting.
Like Super Saiyan to me is that's like it's the same thing.
Okay.
Like it's because when you think about it, like the
manipulating energy.
And then your
power levels going up.
Exactly, your power level goes through the roof.
So that's something you can do with Reiki is raise your own power level.
You can recharge. You can make stuff like you can Reiki flowers and make them last longer.
Okay.
Or you can Reiki like
because you're putting more energy into it.
You're putting energy into something
from
else.
Yourself or from everything.
From source.
Yeah, okay.
So you're not supposed to the way that you do it. You're not supposed to draw from yourself. You're just transmuting it to something else.
Okay, interesting.
You're taking it from where it is and transmuting it into something else.
Yeah. Have you read The Name of the Wind?
Yes.
Yeah, because there's that whole thing about when you're heating something up, you're not supposed to take from your own body heat.
Never.
Yeah, we're getting way into the weeds here,
because
that
actually makes you age when you do that.
Oh, interesting. That would might explain some aging up of the main character because he's like retelling his story, but they haven't finished the series yet.
Exactly.
So it's like
because it draws from you.
Interesting.
But if you're always like the vessel and it's moving and you never kind of like maintain energy. Interesting. If that makes sense. I Reiki myself on a regular basis.
Interesting. And you feel, you can feel a difference, huh?
I mean, I don't look my age.
No, you don't. You don't. You look great.
Thank you.
I'm jelly.
Thank you.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but she's got 2 kids, she's doing her thing.
One day I will be older.
Well,
but also I'm like Mariah Carey. I don't believe in time anymore.
Oh shit! Is that what she's on a different level?
I agree with her and Prince. Time is a construct that doesn't really exist. I don't know if you saw that.
Time is like a man-made thing in a way.
It's humans made up time.
Right. Things are passing, but is it?
Is it
until we observe it? Kind of a thing.
Because according to quantum physics, they just found out that we are actually existing in a black hole. So that means time doesn't exist because we're within a black hole.
We are.
And the rules of a black hole, there is no time or any of those things.
Right. Things are all warped in a black hole.
Because you're in a black hole.
Yeah. That's something new in science. I haven't heard that.
It was in popular science.
You're educated. Just for the listener, the viewer.
I read popular.
She went to college. All right. She's got
multiple times.
She's got a master's degree, right?
Yes, I do.
Yes, she's a master. Not only a Reiki master, but an educational man. Master of what? Business.
Health administration.
Gotcha. Well, see, it's all connected. You're doing all this thing. I was listening to. It reminded me of something when I was younger in the game. I remember talking to another comedian. She was like, "I'm not funny. I'm a vessel for comedy," is what she was saying.
I like that.
And I tried to really do that for a long time. And I was like, it's not working. I'm not fucking because I'd go because then I was like going on stage and being like, I'm a vessel. I'm going to just go up and be funny. And it wasn't working sometimes, and then, it was like a snake eating its own tail. I think the negative vibes
something you have to write.
Snowballs.
You still got to write. You still have to have premises. You still have to do your due diligence and then come up with jokes.
But some people, like I recently heard like Harlan Williams on this podcast, talking about how he's a vessel too. So this idea has been coming up more and more because I feel like I went hard the other way. It was like, no, everything I write has to be clever. I think I went too far into trying to be clever on stage and not so much funny.
Funny, yeah.
Because, I was also thinking of like I was listening to a podcast and they're talking about Chris Farley. And Chris Farley's just like a vibe, he's a big vibe, and he would almost hated it towards the end where he's like, oh, fatty fall down. Yeah, I get it. Like, that's what you want from me. And then, kind of drove him to doing the drugs and stuff and, feeling insecure
because he
about
wanted
himself.
to be a multitude of things. And right. I think I identify with that a lot because I started off as an improviser and then I came into stand-up.
An improviser, a lot more of a conduit for whatever's happening. We're a conduit
for whatever. Yeah. And for me, improv was great because I'm a super studier. I like to read about everything. I like to learn about everything. So now this gives me the ability to like explore all these different worlds and let go. And whatever calls for the scene, now I can bring in something that's layered, that's different, that maybe I don't do all the time. Like today I'm a botanist. Tomorrow the next scene, maybe you get what I'm saying? Like you can
pull from whatever.
Yeah. Because when you're free. But I think what happened with him is like, people get stuck in the characters and that's how they see artists. And artists want artists. They want to do all the, what I mean? Explore. And sometimes that can be like, did you watch the Pee Wee Herman documentary yet?
I haven't. I've been hearing a lot about it.
It's really good. I think every artist should.
Yeah, it's in the queue, but I haven't gotten around
especially to it. Because he was a stand-up comedian.
He started off as
a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, because I thought
this character
came from the Groundlings, right?
Yeah, this character, I think he did both improv and that's why I loved his story. Like I was like, oh, I see the correlation. But what happens a lot is like Pee Wee Herman took over Paul Rubens.
Right. Yeah. Pee Wee's the character. Paul Rubens was the man.
But then I think the only person who's been able to maintain their manness of art that I've watched my whole life and has gone through all these different characters where people be like, oh, it's that guy, is Martin Short.
Okay. Interesting.
Because he used to have Ed Grimley, remember?
Yeah.
And like...
big guy interviewing people.
Yeah, with the hair and everything. Yeah. And then he had all these different characters over time.
Yeah, but people saw that, oh, Martin Short. He's Martin Short, yeah. Versus like, Pee Wee's a great example of that.
I mean...
even Larry the Cable Guy is a lot, people they see the character.
They see the character.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, I want to be me on stage is something I've been battling with, but also it's like maybe me's not always the funniest. I take things a little too seriously. I want to be perceived a certain way, which I think I'll take away from being funny. Maybe
that takes away from being funny. Yeah, and that's something else. I
you gotta
always
be a
try to, and I tell one of my other friends, and I'll tell a lot of people, you need to be you.
Right.
Authenticity is what's funny. It's the commonality that's funny. Because people will be like, I do that dumb shit. I did that dumb shit too. I've done that.
Right. Does that maybe when you see Chris Farley, then you're like, fatty fall down. There's no I mean, it's funny, but there's no real.
There's no connection.
Yeah, there's no connection. Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no connection. But if I tell you I'm going through this experience, or I tell you about this experience, like chalanting, I tell you that.
Nonchalanting and then chalanting.
Yeah, nonchalanting.
A bit you had about there's no opposite of nonchalanting, right?
There is an opposite.
Okay.
It's chalanting. But I was saying that how the guy approached giving me my pie. And
pie at the diner.
Which
I love. I want whipped cream all over that bitch.
I was like, you
even better, give me some ice cream.
Yeah, you tell me how you want to give it to me.
Okay, yeah, that's very fun.
And I mean,
yeah, perfect.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, so
he chalanted. Yeah. Look, he literally, I did. The joke is real and the joke is funny. You see what I'm saying? Because he chalanted all over that pie.
So just, for the listener, the joke about going to a diner, you ordered a piece of pie.
Yes.
And the guy was like, you want some whipped cream?
And I said, how about you show me how you like me?
Yeah.
Or how much whipped cream.
He's like, how much whipped cream do you
put
want?
On there?
Yeah, one time I was, and he chalanted, I guess.
He chalanted.
He showed you.
He showed me. He was very direct. He was very intentional. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Did anything come of that interaction?
No.
No, nothing personal came out of it?
No.
Because that seems like a meet cute.
Yeah,
it seems like a nice meet cute.
Yeah, he wasn't really.
Wasn't giving off the vibes.
My speed. No, I mean, he wanted me, but that's not my.
Oh, interesting.
You know, I don't.
Too young.
Yeah, okay, 67 was too young for me.
Okay.
I like him close to the grave. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I was trying to think. I was like, what's her type? What wouldn't be her type?
Definitely not. I mean,
how young you're going? Okay, sorry, man. It's like a weird too personal thing. Like, what's I don't know. You don't have a age is also a construct. Well, it's a passage of time.
Yeah, no, I can't go. I mean,
earlier than 25.
Oh,
you think you could relate to a 25-year-old?
I don't think I could relate.
Sex is also about relating. You got to relate.
That's why celibacy is great.
Okay, is that something you're practicing?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, I just want. We're learning about each other. Right?
Thank you.
Okay. Don't know how personal you want to get. I'm not trying to push anything, but
there's no
we're all talking about the fun stuff.
Celibacy is fun, especially when you love on yourself.
Okay, gotcha. Is this something about like building up your chi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keeping
your dams full.
Keeping the energy. I mean, my dams get emptied. I empty my own dams. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta refill the well.
You know what I'm saying? I keep it. I have girls.
Tide goes in, time comes out. Tide goes out.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
How many more
I love a good vibrator.
Okay, good. All right. But just a partner not doing it for you.
I'm not doing like puffy. You know what I'm saying? I don't have 700.
Freak-offs.
I don't have, no. He had 784 vibrators that they found.
Okay.
784.
I mean, a lot of people are coming to these parties.
That's a lot of vibrators. But still, like, I have the joke that I talk about this, and I'm like, who cleans all those vibrators?
Do you think someone's cleaning them?
Somebody, I would.
You think?
If not.
Isn't part of it being like it's dirty? No, it's like a dirty thing. We're doing some kind of nasty.
No.
All right,
That's disgusting.
I know, yeah. There's a level.
Your body is your temple. You gotta keep that girl clean. That's disgusting.
Sure.
Why would you put something dirty? I mean, I don't know. I guess girls do be messing with dirty dick dudes sometimes. Oh,
yeah, people do.
Can I say that on here?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
I wouldn't. I would assume somebody's cleaning those vibrators.
Well, that's very nice of you to assume that, but I don't know if that might be a bridge too far.
I mean, huh?
Okay, so he's trying to keep the freak-offs under wraps,
seems like
he's bringing people in to clean.
But he was very organized. Yeah, he had personal assistants. One of those personal assistants, I'm sure,
somebody
is
had dildo cleaning duty. Yeah. It's like, you pissed me off.
Because they found tubs of dildos. Tubs.
Gotcha.
Costco. The black tub with the yellow lid.
Oh, wow.
784.
I've got a couple of those in my shed. The tubs, not the dildos.
The tubs.
It's filled with something else.
Oh. You should have some dildos. Your wife might like that.
She has one.
That should be that. Yes, it should. Personal opinion, that should be your teammate. But hey, what do I know?
I think
you should tag team it in. Then you could get a break. But simultaneously also still pleasuring her.
I mean, it's never
caring and sharing. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
Think about it.
Okay, yeah, I'll think about it.
That was for you, Mallory.
But also, nobody's complaining in the bedroom. Okay,
but
just also want to throw that out there. No, but I mean,
it has nothing to do with complaints. It has nothing to do with the complaints. It's a bonus for Mallory.
I was also getting the job done. So,
but also, you can do both. See,
do both.
I'm saying. See, that's what's wrong with me, y'all. You limit yourself, man. Okay, I'm trying to give you.
I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that. So why would we?
How we think.
All right, okay.
That's a bonus. That's your tag team partner. It's a WWE experience.
I get that. Okay, bring in the wrestling. That's the athlete.
I know. It's accurate. I know how to get you guys.
I mean, I'm not the biggest
WWE
fan, but I get.
It doesn't matter if you're big or not. I'm just saying. You need a tag team partner because sometimes everybody needs a breather. And that's just the truth. Okay.
All right.
You pack it in. That maybe that got a little intimate for you, but
yeah, I mean, one time we were talking about how she gets a little uncomfortable if I get too much into some of our more personal stuff on the podcast. So maybe, we'll see.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'll run it by her.
I feel like it because it's for her.
Okay. All right, yeah. So anyway, I know you got a heart out here. You got to get back. Or is there a time limit on this?
We could go a couple more minutes.
Because you got a person coming here soon.
Oh,
they
that's
dropped
true.
you off, right?
That's true. You reminded me. I didn't.
When you came in, you saying that the person who dropped you off wanted to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, she's fine. She's fine.
Because I get, traveling comedian. I'm like, hey, come to my house
and sit in my house and on podcast. I was like, I also like to leave notes that I know where you live. I've left notes everywhere for people, Yeah, also, I'm
hold me accountable.
I have a black belt.
Cool. Me too.
And I'm a trained nurse, so I know where all your arteries are.
Yeah, definitely don't want to fuck with that.
Yeah.
I'm not,
they're key. They're key arteries you can hit.
We're 6 feet apart.
Fast.
Don't worry about it. We're 6 feet apart. I hope you feel safe.
I feel very safe
Thank
and loved.
you. That's
Me
going to be
and
the
dog
clip.
played earlier. We're like this. We're best friends. Yeah. I ate some green sweet pods. Very, very good.
From the garden.
They were delicious.
Okay, good.
I think you should sell your lavender and your peas.
It's just haven't tried the ice cream
Farmers
yet. We're
market.
working on it, yeah.
I'm ready.
Been making some homemade ice cream, so.
That's impressive.
Thank you.
Are we going to go back to the wheel of time? You still got a couple. I got time.
Well, yeah, I like the wheel of time. I was, you can
edit. Do you edit?
I edit some things out. I might edit all that sex stuff about my wife out a little bit.
Take that out.
But,
that was on me.
I like to think it is what it is. I like the podcast to be what it is.
Fluid.
Yeah.
It was more like a team.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get it.
Diddy started it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. We got on some Diddy stuff and we went down
just
a road.
Like Catholics.
Got on some Diddy shit. So I do some lightning round questions.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, we could.
Yay!
All meant to be in fun. All right,
let's go.
It doesn't have to be a one-word answer, but if top of your head would be, just like you're improv trained, you know what's up.
Let's go.
Who do you think you are?
I think I am an energetically awesome being. Yeah.
What makes you so great?
My life's experience makes me so right.
What motivates you?
My family.
Like your kids or
my kids, definitely my sons.
Are you a strict mom? I feel like you like get your homework done. You ain't going out.
I'm not a strict mom, but I'm a very I have standards.
Okay.
For
high
what
ones.
You need to. Yes.
Because it sounds like your parents held you to a high standard.
Yeah, I have high standards for my sons. But I'm practicing gentle parenting. So, and I teach them emotional intelligence. So I also teach my sons that failure is part of life. So failure leads to your successes. So even when they don't accomplish the things that I might want them to, I remind them not to quit. That rejection is part of it. Especially, and I think they see me get rejected a lot because I'm in the entertainment industry. And I think that teaches them we can aspire to do great things. But that doesn't mean we'll always be successful in that.
Right.
And it's understanding how do you transmute that to keep going and not see the negative thing, but understand that that's just setting you up for your victory.
Future success.
Yeah, your future success.
Yeah, not letting it defeat you.
Don't let it defeat you. So it's transmuted. Yet again, transmuted energy.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I like that. So yeah, your kids motivate you?
Oh yeah.
Not spite?
Definitely not spite.
That's also transmuting energy.
It is. Some people do good with taking spite and rage. I don't like
for the first 25 years of my life.
To feel really spite.
Oh yeah.
Just to spite you. Who are you spiting?
My dad, my parents.
Okay, I got that.
Anybody who ever doubted me.
Oh,
my doubters, dude.
The doubters, the naysayers.
History teacher in the ninth grade. Fuck that guy.
Fuck you.
Thank you. Thanks. Finally, somebody else says it.
Yeah.
He was a dick to me.
You're a loser.
Yeah. I was falling asleep in class. I had 2 jobs. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should have fell asleep in class. And I think that's that goes back to we never know what's going on in someone else's life. And if we don't check in and ask, I
had a few teachers that were kind and were like, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
And so when I explained it to them, they're like, all right.
Okay.
And so because, when I would be falling asleep in class, they'd honk a horn at me. They try and scare me awake and stuff. but it just kept happening. It wasn't like but it's,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, because I'm working.
Yeah, and I was like trying to be active
in
and all this
school.
shit. Yeah, I was like on the cross country team. I was trying to,
and
doing,
you were doing
yeah,
school
I was like
stuff?
trying to do all that stuff too, But I mean, there's like there are problems in the house, so I was trying to get out as much as possible.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, so but yeah, and then it was, I had two teachers that, talked to me about it, and I was like, I'm doing this, blah blah blah, and then if she saw me sleeping during a test or something, she'd be like, hey, just try and get as much done as you can, And I was like, thank you, because I was a good student, I wasn't like, I wasn't being disruptive. I wasn't trying to, and I was getting good grades. I was paying attention. I was doing my homework and shit. It was just,
but I'm sleepy.
It was just,
I got
I was
two jobs.
fucking tired, like,
hello.
Yeah. So anyway, there's some good people. I appreciate those ones. Fuck the haters.
Fuck the haters.
Anyway, I'm trying to get away from the spite thing.
Yeah.
But it's hard to find motivation as well. I'm trying to transmute
I think once
that.
you hit your, how old are you?
36.
I think once you hit your 40s, it's something about 40. Once you hit your 40s, you hit this spot where you just don't give a fuck about other people and what they think or how they feel about you. And you get out of the people-pleasing university. I'm happy to say I'm a people pleaser university dropout. I'm making shirts for that. You can sell them and buy them online. But once you get into a mindset where you just, other people are not the factors of why I do what I do, outside of my children who are part of me, because I birthed them. Like, I just don't really care.
You don't find in the comedy business that there's a level of people pleasing in that, or at least they have to approve of you, whatever you find funny. I don't know
if it's people pleasing or if it's like
the laughter's approval of like, I'm
need
seeing it that way might not be the right way.
Verification of your humor, but like,
but also you're like, take it or leave it.
Yeah, you still gonna do it no matter what, because I love. It's part of my path, my purpose. I'm still gonna do it.
Right. And
people, I think it's understanding that
when they're not laughing is all I'm saying. When they don't buy it.
Your people will find you.
I gotta believe that. I'm trying to latch onto that and keep a hold of something.
Yeah, your people will find you, and sometimes that requires you to find yourself. And if you're not sure on who you are,
right there,
then that's part of it. But once you figure out what your voice really is, right, or where your true best laughter is coming from, I think then that'll change it.
Then you're cooking with gas, huh?
Right? Because if you're doing it out of spite, then that's not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm
doing.
Well, I mean, a lot of my comedy's like something pissed me off.
Yeah, something pissed you off, and now you're making fun of it.
Yeah.
Instead of something brought me joy, or I did something that was ironic, that was joyful.
Yeah,
and now I'm telling you, because like
you fucking nailed it for me.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of my stories come from joyful moments. This awkwardly happened, and I found it to be funny, and now I don't want to share it with you. You know what I mean? Or these are the things that bring me joy. Bidets.
Right.
Bidets
great.
Bidets are great. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I find those things to be for me, the jokes that people remember, that people like, or that something like being a black prepper that came out of, watching the country turn into a crazy place. You know what I mean? Like, so it's always like, instead of it being out of my anger or my spite. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's deep.
But I don't know. I could be wrong.
Well, I'm glad you keeping that little caveat there too. You're keeping a little space to be like, and also I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, some people make it work. I don't know if they last very long. I don't know. What they're going through.
George Carlin seemed to have a really good hang on it.
Yeah.
Bill Burr does a good job too.
Are you an artist?
Yes.
What is art?
What is art? Art is a creative expression of your emotions, thoughts, capabilities, mindsets, and I guess expressions that come through you in a variety of different ways.
To what extent do you shape your own destiny, and how much is left up to fate?
Well, one of my company's names is Doers Be Thinkers. So I feel like
Doers Be Thinker
is faith. So one thing, I guess, and you remember this, you can have faith, but you still have to have action. right? So I'm very much of the premise is I can pray for things, but I also have to put myself in the path and the purpose of the thing that I'm praying for it to come to pass. I can't just be like, oh my gosh, I want to be a successful comedic actress and have a one-woman show and all these things, but go and sit down and not write, not get up on the road and not do this. So it requires
doing it.
Faith, prayer, and action. It's a combination.
Does life imitate art or does art imitate life?
Art imitates life.
What gives you the right?
God. God.
What is the most important question you can ask yourself?
How you feeling today? Did you drink some water?
Yeah. Any big well, I appreciate you playing along here. I'm glad you didn't get offended.
Oh, what would I be offended by?
Some people are like, what? That seems a little, what's your problem? Or, well, the next one is what's your problem? Your leg hurting? You got a knee thing?
What's my problem?
Your son giving you some guff about not getting the Nintendo 2 or something?
No, my son was like, we're not paying for that. My 12-year-old was like, you know how tariffs work?
The tariff.
I love that he's that smart where he came upstairs and was like, I don't want it.
Yeah, but the new Mario Kart.
He said, he then came upstairs. He said, did you see the price of that new Nintendo? I said, yeah, I saw it. He said, I don't want it.
Damn.
Too rich for me.
Well, that's nice.
He said, too rich for my blood.
It
was funny how he said, too rich for my blood. I said, really? He said, I mean, no, but also.
I mean, no, but don't worry about it, basically.
He said, but also just seems like a waste of money. And I was like,
damn.
And because I was like, really? He was like, yeah, I have a Switch. And I was like, that's true. He was like, it doesn't have to be the newest of the thing, but I have something to play with. So, and I was like, gratitude.
Yeah, that's nice. Very nice of your son.
Hey.
He's like, you get a little break on Christmas. Don't worry about it.
Hey. Yeah, he's just not. He likes stuff, but he's not like one of those kids that's like.
Wants the new thing, just have it.
He doesn't want the new thing just to have it. All of his friends have cell phones. He said he doesn't feel like he's responsible enough to have one.
He doesn't have a cell phone?
Yeah.
Damn.
He was like, I was like,
that's a different kid right there, for sure.
I was like, I like you.
That kid's a contrarian.
He's very much he's an Aquarius. He's very much a contrarian.
Getting a water sign, right?
I think that's Aquariuses are air signs, I think.
Yeah, he's going where the wind takes him, huh?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, he's very much with the flow. Yeah,
with the flow. I was thinking water, but also, air's it's kind of.
He's very much leaf in the wind.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that
like
sense.
he's focused, but also.
He doesn't need switch.
He doesn't need switch. He doesn't need switch.
It's only going to weigh his leaf down.
I feel he said to me, I have enough things to play with. I have an Xbox and I have a Switch. I don't need a third one. And I was like, cool.
Yeah, cool.
I didn't want to pay for it anyway. I wasn't going to. I mean, I wasn't going to, but.
That all came out of what's your problem. I'm sorry. I led you down this path.
But I didn't even, that wasn't my problem.
Yeah, that wasn't your problem.
But that was nice. That's not my problem. What's my problem? I don't have I need a executive assistant or a manager. That's my problem.
Someone take some load off.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, that's my problem. I'm overloaded.
Gotcha. I appreciate you taking out the time to do this, to talk and,
I appreciate you having me on the green couch. Well, that sounded, we didn't mean that.
On the green couch? Yeah. Okay. First I thought weed, but then I was like, okay.
When I heard it come out, I immediately was like,
Thanks for being on the pod.
Thank you.
I do usually let the guests sign off however they see fit, whatever. If you have a sign off or something you like to say. I will say Wakanda forever, be excellent to each other. I don't say that just because you're here. I love them.
I would say live long and prosper.
There you go.
Where
can people find you? Things like that.
You can find me at The Real Tiffany BA on all social medias. And if you're into the crystals and things, you can find me at Doers Beat Thinkers, also on all of the social medias. And I hope you have a blessed day.
Thank you.